is my wrap-up video for BookTube-A-Thon. BookTube-A-Thon just ended here in Iowa a little bit ago, so I'm really tired because it's midnight. But I wanted to get this made. But anyway, so let's get started. So out of the 7 books I chose for the BookTube-A-Thon challenges, I completed 4 books. Well, technically I think 3.5, because one of them is the Vampire Diaries, and I don't know if I explained this in my to be read, but my edition of Vampire Diaries is the bind-up. As you can see, it has the awakening and the struggle. And Monday, on the first day of BookTube-A-Thon, when I read this, I finished the awakening, as you can see. So, in a way, I'm kind of counting Monday's challenge as I got it done, because the challenge was to read a book with a face on it, and technically I did, because I finished the awakening. Now, yes, I didn't, because I didn't read this cover to cover, but I'm still going to give myself like a half point for this, because I kind of did it. So, yeah. But the 4 books I read, besides finishing The Awakening, the first book of the Vampire Diaries series, I also finished reading The Princess Saves Herself in This One, which was the book I read today, and it was really good. I enjoyed it. I would give it probably 4 stars. So I wasn't in love with every poem in here, but there were a lot of them that really struck me, as you can see, since I have my little stickies on all the poems that I liked. But the poem and the stories in her book really touched me and just were really inspiring as well. So I really liked her writing, and I can't wait to read what else she writes. The other book I finished was Black Canary Volume 2, New Killer Star. And I used this one for my Read a Book Completely Outside challenge. I read this all outside. I gave this 3 stars because this one was not as good as the first volume of Black Canary. Just the story didn't flow as well. It just seemed like nothing was really connected. This one had a lot of issues for me. I still would love to read more of the story, but if there is going to be more of the story, because the ending to this kind of felt like an end, so I don't know if there's going to be more volumes of this, but I would like to have more volumes of this. I love, Black Canary centered story, but yeah, this one wasn't as good as the first volume. And then the other book I finished, which I did a book review, so if you go to my recent uploads or my review playlist, you'll find it. And that was Eleanor and Park. I gave this 4 stars. I would have given it 5, but I had some issues with Eleanor's character, and I also really hated the ending, and so that significantly brought this down from a 5 to a 4 because that ending. And I go on a rant about my issues with the ending of this in my review, so go watch that. So for challenges, I completed about 3 of the challenges, because I used Black Canary to finish a book outside. Then I used Eleanor and Park I read this for day 2, which was the most read-a-hype book, and also I read it in 1 day. So that's 3 challenges. And then I guess in a way, since I'm doing my half point with Vampire Diaries, I guess I could do 3.5 points for this, because technically this has a face on the cover. So yeah, so these are all the books I did get finished during BookTube-A-Thon. Now let's talk about the ones I didn't. So I originally had Of Mice and Men picked for my book to read in 1 day. I could not get into this book, and I only made it 17 pages, and I actually fell asleep twice while reading those 17 pages. So I don't know if it was just I had a really long day at work and I was just exhausted and my brain just couldn't get into this, or if this was just not the type of book to start and read during BookTube-A-Thon. I don't know. Just because of the experience, though, it hasn't put me off reading this. I do want to read this and actually read it and finish it, but yeah, couldn't do it during the BookTube-A-Thon, but hopefully we'll do that soon. The other one was Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, which is the book I was going to read on Thursday, which read a book with a character that's different from you, and Greg is a boy, so he's different from me. But this one, I didn't get this one. I only got 20 pages into this, and that was simply because I was very busy on Thursday. I worked 9 to 3, and then from like 4:30 till almost 10, I was at an amusement park with one of my friends. So, and then when I got home, I was just so damn tired. I was like, I can't even read anything. So, yeah. But the 20 pages I did read really got me interested, so I will be reading this and finishing it. I'm keeping it off my bookshelf. It's on my little pile. I have the other books I'm currently reading, because, yeah, I want to keep reading this and finish it. And then the last book, which was for yesterday's challenge, which was read a book that you bought simply because of the cover, which for me was The Wrath and the Dawn, and as you can see my bookmarks in there. I'm only 47 pages in, but I'm really enjoying it, and yeah, I'm definitely going to finish this. Don't know when, but I'm definitely going to finish it, so yeah. And also I did a little calculation of how many pages I got read, and I'm also counting the pages that, even though it wasn't a huge amount, the pages I read, Me, Earl, and Dying Girl, and Of Mice and Men, during this BookTube-A-Thon read 914 pages, which I'm very pleased, because one of the things I loved about doing this BookTube-A-Thon was, before, I was barely reading. Like, sure, there'd be moments where I'd kind of be really in the mood and I'd read a lot. But I feel honestly for like the past 2 years, I have been in such a rut and haven't felt the real desire to want to read, which is horrifying to me because I've loved reading since I was in like kindergarten. It's been my favorite pastime. And I think a lot of that has to do with the internet and a lot of distractions and, you know, Netflix and stuff like that, that my brain's kind of been like, well, why read when I can go do this? Which is a horrible thing to have in my head. But it's, you know, the truth. And so that was one of the reasons I wanted to do BookTube-A-Thon, is because I wanted to try to read more of the books I own. Some of them I've had for a while. Like, I've had Eleanor and Park probably for I want to say almost maybe 3 or 4 years, and now I've finally read it. I have quite a few books, and not just in this pile, but also on my shelf, that have been there for years, and I haven't touched them. And that's why I'm thankful to the BookTube-A-Thon, is because it's kind of reinvigorated my love of reading, and now I just want to read more. Like the Vampire Diaries, you know, I have 1 book left in that bind-up, so I want to finish the struggle. And, you know, since I'm really into this, I want to finish The Wrath and the Dawn, and then finish Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, and eventually finish Of Mice and Men. And then plus, it wasn't part of the BookTube-A-Thon, but I was in the middle, before the BookTube-A-Thon started, I was reading Everything, and now I want to finish that. And there's so many other books on my shelf that I look at, I'm like, I just want to read, and that's so exciting for me, that I want to read. So, yeah. So yeah, to kind of wrap up this wrap-up, I'm counting the Vampire Diaries for the face challenge, and also for finishing a book. So I read 4 books during BookTube-A-Thon, finished 4 challenges, and read 914 pages. That's an achievement for me. I'm so excited about that information. But yeah, so I hope you guys had an amazing BookTube-A-Thon. I hope you got some really good books read, and I hope you all just had a really great time. And yeah, so like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Until next time. Bye guys.